me again, boys and girls, Miss Gurule. I just wanted to say an early happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful moms. I love Mother's Day when we're at school because one of the things that we do is we decorate a clay flower pot with paint, and then we plant a flower inside of it. And it's one of my favorite things to do because it is a gift for our mothers, and I am so appreciative for our wonderful mothers and grandmothers and all of those who take care of us like mothers. So for this week's writing lesson, I get to do this week's writing lesson. We are going to do some poetry. We are going to learn about scene cane poetry. Now this kind of looks like an interesting word to pronounce, but it is pronounced scene cane. And what a scene cane poem is it has 5 lines arranged in a special way. The first line is the topic of the poem, and each line describes your topic. Now when we think about poetry, we tend to think of phrases that rhyme with each other or words that rhyme with each other. And that is not necessarily true. Poetry can be all sorts of different combinations of words. And a scene cane poetry does not have to be rhyming. But what I want you to do this week is I want you to learn how to write a scene cane poetry or a poem, and then I want you to write a scene cane poem for your mom, for your grandma, for your stepmom, for all of them, or for the person who takes care of you and that you would like to honor this Mother's Day, okay? And just so you know, Mother's Day is coming up. It is not this coming weekend, but it'll be the following weekend. But I definitely wanted to do this writing lesson with you before Mother's Day arrives. Okay, so boys and girls, to write a scene cane poem, you have to have a title, and usually that's a noun, so it could be a name of a person, it could be a place, or it can be a thing. Okay, after you pick your topic, what you're going to write about, and this week we're going to write about our mothers, or our grandmothers, our stepmothers, or those who take care of us. Then we're going to describe them. We're going to use 2 adjectives. And when we use this adjective, I want you to think about how you would describe your mom, or your grandma, or your stepmother, okay? So these are your 2 describing words. Then your third line of your scene cane poem is going to be 3 verbs, and each verb should end in ing. And remember, verbs are action words, so it tells you that something is happening. It is an action. Okay, and your 4th line of your scene cane poem is going to be a 4-word thought or feeling. So it's basically like a phrase or a short sentence. And then your final line for your scene cane poem is going to be a synonym for what your title is. So, for example, if you're writing about your mom, you're going to think of a synonym for your mom, and I'll show you an example of that in a little bit. So what I did was I did an example of a scene cane poem. It doesn't have to do with my mom, but I just wanted to give you an example. So I used the word students. That is my title. So I'm talking about my students. They are kind and smart. Those are the 2 adjectives that I used to describe them. And then the 3 verbs that I used to describe them, or what they're doing, is learning, playing, and laughing. And I used ing. I used the verb, and then I added ing to each of those verbs. And then my 4-word thought or feeling is they love to read. And then my synonym for students is Miss Gurule's class. So those, we're basically talking about the same thing in the title and the same thing in your last line. So boys and girls, you can get your paper and you can practice your scene cane poem now, or when you're finished with the video, you can go ahead and start working on your scene cane poem for your mother, for your grandmother, for your stepmother, or for those who you feel you want to honor this Mother's Day. That is your assignment for this week. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to get my example of my poem for my mother. Okay, so I just did my example here. This is what I want yours to look like, but you can use a regular piece of notebook paper to write your poem, and then you can submit it through Class Dojo or through email. This says a Cinquain poem for my mom. Now, maybe you call your mom mommy, or maybe you call her mother, or whoever you're going to write this poem for, that's what you're going to put in this first spot here. So my poem says, Mom, sweet, beautiful, cooking, talking, laughing, says I love you, Shelly. And Shelly is my mom's name. So what I did was I used 2 words to describe her, the 2 words that I think about when I think about my mom. She is very sweet, and she will always be beautiful to me. These are the things we do together. We love to cook, so we're cooking. We always talk on the phone. She doesn't live here, so we're always talking on the phone, and always laughing. My mom makes me laugh. She's very silly. And then of course says I love you, and her name is Shelly, and I'm going to share a picture of her with you. So this is a picture of my mom. She was about 24 years old. This is my little sister Sarah, and of course there you have it. There's Miss Gurule. Very embarrassing, but I just wanted you to see my beautiful mother. And this is a more recent picture of her. And this is my stepdad, Eric. But this is my beautiful mother, Shelly, and I want to wish her a very happy Mother's Day. And I would like you to all wish your mothers, grandmothers, stepmoms a very happy Mother's Day as well. So let me see your Cinquain poems when you are finished with them. Okay, boys and girls, happy writing, happy poetry, and I'll see you next time. Bye.